Don't look. It's the scariest thing ever. A blank white page. Hi, I'm Cheryl. This is The Whole Bucket. Welcome and welcome back to The Whole Bucket. I'm going to make some background papers today. So it's not what I intended, but February so far is not turning out at all like what I intended. And function has been at a minimum. Today is no exception. I sat all first half of my day, I guess, trying to make my brain function and trying to do things that I actually intended to do, and it's not happening at all. So I was watching some other people, and I'm not the only person struggling. That's not a surprise. I mean, we all do from time to time, and it's February. You know, it happens. But, I decided, I had this, little bit of a moment where I thought, just make some background papers, so, I got out, 4 different watercolor type mediums, and some plain copy paper, although it's just a little on the heavy side. This is 28 pound paper. I don't know what I got on it because I just moved it from here to here, and I already got something on it. I'm not going to stress it, I guess. But I got out some brushes and some water and some, I'm going to start with my current favorite thing to do is infusions. And I got out some tissue paper because I think when I blot things, I want to blot on tissue paper. And one of the things I've been wanting to do in February is get to making the, what am I thinking? Get to making the birth month journals. And I haven't been able to get my brain to function enough. So, one of the problems I have, and I'm just going to start working while I talk, okay? One of the problems I have with the birth month journals and the digital kits that I use is that when you use a digital kit, it's kind of an all-inclusive, ready-to-go product, right? It kind of squishes some creativity for me. And I don't mind it, really. They're beautiful kits, the ones that I've been using. I use them because I like them, right? But it sometimes feels more like assembly. In fact, the more I make, the more it starts to feel like assembly rather than art. And that's not entirely true, and that's me reflecting my own feelings on something. Don't get me wrong. Digital kits are fabulous, and they are as artistic or not artistic as you want them to be. You can make them exactly as they're intended and simply assemble them, and they're still artistic because they're made by you and they are artistically created by someone else, and they're a collaborative piece in that sense. So it really doesn't matter what you do or don't do with them, they're still artistic. But what I find is that the more of them I do, and I did a lot of them last year, the more my brain just sort of goes into automatic. So I really liked when Ephemerimber came along, and I followed the prompts in Ephemerimber, because then all of a sudden I'm having to think creatively again. It forces me out of that place. What I'd like to do this year, when I get back into making those birth month journals, is use the kits because I love them, but find a way to really mix them with more artistic outlet and more junk journal aspects. So when I make journals, they really end up being something more like a combination of an old-fashioned diary and a mini album, because that's what I like to do. I like to create secret places and magical things and little hidey holes and tiny little bits to discover. that's my favorite. So that's what it ends up being. A lot of writing space or gluing space or whatever you want to do, but also a lot of mini album sort of bits. So I would like to, like I said, add more junk journal bits and add more art bits this year. And as much as that's what I want to do and that's what I intend to do, I'm not getting my brain to function enough to give it a try. A little sad about that. Right now you might be saying, what in the world kind of background page is that? Well, in just about a minute here, I will show you what kind of page this is. I am using 2 Infusions colors on this one. Emerald Isle is one and the Sage is the other. And I started with these colors. I started with Infusions just because I love them to pieces right now. And I started with these colors because no matter what month journal I will be working in, it'll be flowers, because that's what birth month flower journals have in them. Imagine that. But also green. Oh yeah, green goes with everything. They will have flowers in them, and so green goes with every flower. Every flower has leaves and branches and browns and greens and what have you. So I'm starting very, very generic on purpose. And I will now show you what kind of page this is. Let me soak up any bits that need soaking up. There and there. Alright, the camera might hold still more now. My cat has given up. She left. Okay, so when I put any page into a journal, right? This is probably going to get trimmed because they always do, but this is what it'll end up being. So I'll probably end up taking a little off of the top, the bottom, and the outside, but this gets sewn into a signature. So this will be one page, and then this will be a page. It'll just have this edging and looks like some color on the bottom because it decided to go there. I'm not going to argue with whatever happens. Then you'll go through more of the journal, more, and then you'll get to this page, and then the other side of that looks like that. I often do something just up the center of a page, because then when you put it in a journal, whatever you did is split in half and goes to each side, unless of course you make that the center of a signature, which also works really well. So let me set this aside to dry. I thought I made enough room. I did not. I'm going to set that right over there to dry. I do not have a lot of drying space. I'm not sure what I'll do. I'll probably end up throwing a bunch of pages on the floor. Hopefully I don't forget they're there and walk on them, because that happens. Let's try getting the paper wet first, and I think I'll go from the middle and like this. Let's just make like a sunburst sort of water bit. And then sprinkle some of the sage around. Well, that's not doing much. I'm still going to have to activate it more. You might be noticing, I don't know because I'm not watching the camera view really, but you might be noticing that this kind of paper warps pretty badly with getting wet. So this has no treatment on it. No gesso, it's not special watercolor paper, it is just plain old copy paper, untreated, etc. So yeah, it's gonna warp quite a bit being wet. I don't care about that either, because it creates fun texture and a fun feel to the paper later. When I want to do you know, mixed media art, or I want something a little more formal, I'll use the right papers for a project. I have a hard time calling it the right paper, because for what I want right now, this is the right paper. I need to break those brush strokes up. They're bugging me. Break up, folks. There we go. Break up, mister. I'm gonna start peeling the paper. That's if I can do that too much more. So this one turned really, really brown. The longer you leave water on infusions, the more brown comes out of the walnut crystals. Let's see what happens when we soak up whatever we can. What I'm hoping to get is a bunch of papers that I can throw in signatures, but also companion pieces out of the tissue paper. That's pretty cool. So I'm not going to get much out of the tissue paper at this rate, because copy paper soaks up a lot of water. It doesn't sit on there much. Okay, so if I have this side like this, I'm going to do this side the opposite also. So I'm going to take the, what did I do? Sage. I did sage on the other side. I'll do Emerald Isle on this side, and I'll do it everywhere the sage wasn't on the other page. Since when are you so sappy, Michael Daney? Sappy! Sorry, I should not have yelled that into my video. My husband is out in the other room listening to sappy love songs. He's usually out there listening to rock music or football stuff or car stuff. But right now it's the Everly. That's the Everly Brothers, I think, right? No. I can't remember who that is. Okay. There we go. So I shouldn't really fold all these. But again, I want to show what this ends up being. Not that I didn't think you got the idea in the first place. Of course you did. I just want to look at another example of how it turns out being. So pretend this is a signature. There's a page. There's a page. More pages. More pages. There's a page. And there's a page. This must not look like much right now, but think about it when, like, if that's the page, right? If this is the page right here, think about a pocket here and a big tag in here and how this is going to be the background, or think about some torn book page covering a bunch of the rest of this page and then making a tuck spot out of it or a pocket out of it, right? Think about this one, and if we put a tuck spot over here or over here, how that's sticking out of the tuck spot. Or put a belly band down here and this is shooting behind the belly band. I don't know. There's all kinds of possibilities. And I like how it turns out when I do that. I'm going to soak up some of this stuff in the puppy pad. That's proving kind of interesting. Soaking up puppy pad bits. There we go. All right, so there we go. Let's do some different colors. Let's do black currant because I love this color. And let's go up the middle. Lots of water on this one. And I think I'm gonna swirl. Okay, that's it. I'm going to soak this up quick. Just leave it like that. So this makes me think of one that I was doing recently. I was doing sort of a mini birth month journal idea for a person who was born in April. April's birth month flower is typically around here anyway, thought of as the daisy. The alternate birth month flower for April is the sweet pea. I love sweet peas. They're so cool. And daisies are a classic. But think about now, when this is a page in a journal, how great of a background would this be for a daisy or a daisy stem, right? And then it is the color of sweet pea, really. All right, so in keeping with how I've been doing things, I think I will go down each side of this with black currant. I hope this turns out to be a layout I like. I honestly don't know because I've done this same concept before, but this is not, I've certainly never done it in bulk like this. I'm just trying to make sure that feathers out. That one's a little more heavy-handed than this side. That's okay. They don't need to be the same. But that's why I'm feathering it out, just because it's a little heavy-handed. Okay. Again, see if there's anything soak-upable. I don't think there is. Not much anyway. Okay, set that aside to dry and let's see what we can get from the puppy pad. Anything? Bits. Little bits. Let's do a new color. Let's do a new color. My least favorite colors. And I think I'm gonna go, let's go right in the middle this time of each side, because I haven't done that yet. What are my least favorite colors? Terracotta and golden sands. Not because there's anything about them in infusions that is a problem, but because I don't do a lot of oranges and reds and yellows. They're just not my jam, really. But I need to venture. I need to venture, people, and so should you. Find what is and isn't your jam and do the stuff that is your favorite, because everybody should. And then, you know, push some limits. Do some stuff that's not necessarily your favorite. And see what happens. Maybe you will find a new appreciation for something you used to not care for. Or, you know, maybe you'll find you were right all along and you just don't care for that. Okay. That's all I'm going to do here. Living on the edge, man. So here's what I'm really worried about. So I don't like white plain edges, so I will end up edging these pages, and I don't know what I'll edge them in, but I'm wondering if all of this white is really just going to bug the bejeebers out of me. It might. And now, just like I did before, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to go down the center. Whoops, that one got a little carried away. And the edges. And I'll do terracotta in the centers of the top and bottom and golden sands everywhere else. not liking that at all. I'm going to stick with it though. So I'm going to swirl and then feather, because that's what I started with. I'm going to do it the whole way. Even though I don't like it, I started with the swirl, I didn't like it, and then I did the feathering, thinking I could make it better, and I didn't like that either. But here's what happens. If you make a mistake and you just keep doing it on purpose, then it's no longer a mistake, then it's new design, or then it's by design, and maybe I'm going to find something new that I like. And I'm not going to judge till I'm done. Because right now I'd say poppycock. Nobody's going to like this. This is horrible. Don't judge yet. Oh, good grief. Now my husband's listening to Dog and Butterfly. What in the world is happening to that man? He's ridiculous. Okay, he turned off Dog and Butterfly. I mean, not that he doesn't like Heart, but I mean, he's a heavy metal dude and he's listening to Dog and Butterfly. All right, how's that? I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm more heavy-handed on the left side than I am on the right. Wonder what that's all about. I want to see if I can get a little more feathering right here. Okay, now we're not going to call it feathering because now I've got it going across the whole page, because I just did that. Huh. Well, I definitely got a new thing. I'm not going to do this very often. This is a bit silly. So I said I wasn't going to fold all the papers because it ends up, you know, getting ridiculous, and you get the idea. But now all of a sudden I am too impatient and curious, and I want to see what the heck's going to happen with this one. There's one page of it. That might not be terrible. And then there's, I still am concerned about this. But then there's the last page, another page. I don't think that's going to end up as terrible as I think it will when I choose those colors. I think everything with those colors is going to turn out awful. Always. Let's try a couple more Infusions colors, because I should give everybody a fair chance. Let's do Violet Storm. I always like storms. I'm going to do this one down the middle and on the edges, like the first few. It is my favorite when I'm stenciling. That's why I'm assuming it'll work. Like this, but who knows? I need to work a little faster on this one because I don't want to wreck all these colors by letting them all just turn brown. So let's get a lot of water going and get some blotting going. See if we can trick this copy paper into doing something new. I have my doubts, but you know, you never know. Whoops. Ooh, I like that one. I like that one. And I did actually trick it into doing something new. Look how much I got on the tissue paper. That totally worked. So work really fast and lots of water. If I'm going to do the same on the other side, I'm going to have to do one side at a time. So let's Violet Storm. Is it Violet? Yeah. Violet Storm, not Violent. Alright, no, that's going to turn out really muddy. I think. Well, okay, so I feel some stuff soaking up. Maybe it won't be too bad. Let's see. Ready? Not too bad. Oh, and I soaked up some cool bits. I don't like where I'm getting these straight brush strokes, but I don't, you know, it's just part of the process in this, with what I'm doing, I think. And one more time with the Violet Storm. Wow, that's a lot of color. I wonder if I just smush. What if I just smush? Spray and smush. I've never done that with this before. Well, I certainly soaked up a lot. Look at it coming through. Okay, ready? Let's see what happened. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. Oh, I like the tissue paper though. I don't know. I kind of like it. We'll let it dry and see what we think. But I love the color in general because dark and jewel tones and dramatic is kind of my favorite. Look what it's doing to the tissue paper. Ooh. All right, let's see. Maybe I'm still going to do more. This is how many more infusions I have, but you must be getting bored with infusions already. Let's see. Whatever. We have 6 more. If I did 2 at a time, that's only 3 more pages. So let's do brown and green, because that's what I always do and I love it. Let's do in the navy and a raspberry and slate blue with, are you serious? So green and brown first, and I'll do green up here, brown down here, because it's like a tree. And let's spray it. Look at all the pretty flowers under the tree. What happens if we just do this? I probably have a better brush for this. You know what I don't have though, is I don't have an actual pouncing brush. I keep thinking I'm going to get one and then I don't. Are you not activating? There we go. I think I'm just gonna smush. I'm just gonna smush now. That does not go together at all, if you ask me. I bet it would if I'd now added some of the rocky road up there and the tree bark down, or the olive tree down here. Just to make them sort of have some of the same stuff. Does that help? It helped a little. I'm going to have trouble using this page. That was not a great idea. Ooh, look what it's doing on the other side though. Kind of like fireworks. Let's try some rocky road. And just a few olive tree on the edges. I think there got a little splatter on my kitty. She tried to come back to her bed and she instantly, oh, look at that. I'm going to get filthy. She instantly ran away. All right, I like what's happening to the paper. Look at this paper. It's turning into a big firework. Yeah, I don't know what that'll end up being like, but there you go. There's another one. I'm going to take a little bite of my sandwich. I apologize. Yum. Okay. 2 more to go. And these are being done with very similar colors to each other. So it'll be interesting to see how different they turn out. Oh, the drama. That is also one of my very favorite colors, raspberry. And this is a very dramatic raspberry indeed. Let's see if we can... Uh-oh, I might have to pause the video to get more water. Let's see if we can pull up some of that raspberry. Oh my goodness, can we ever? Pull up some of that in the navy. Come on, just finish this one page and then we'll get more water. The In the Navy did not survive the raspberry very well. That raspberry is a powerful color. All right. going to have to get on a new tissue paper and refill my water bottle. And then we can do the other side. Be right back. All right, I am back. So I sprinkled some In the Navy down one side. Oops. Do you know what helps to activate your infusions? If you point the water in the right way, in the right direction. I did In the Navy on one side and raspberry on the other because of how much the raspberry just took right over. And I got out some more tissue paper and I'm going to try it crumpled, as you can see. I don't think I needed to say that part out loud. I'm trying crumpled and see what we end up with. So there's the navy side. And I've already sprinkled this with raspberry. Whoops. No, no, no. No. There we go. There we go. I'm kind of liking that. Well, I mean, I did say it's one of my favorite colors. So that's not a big surprise, is it? Oh, good grief, girl. All right, let's do a little spraying and pull up a little more of the raspberry if we can. We can. Look at that. Oh, I like it. What fun! What fun! Let's share the raspberry. You know why? Because raspberries are delicious. Okay, there's another page. And I wonder how much bleed I'm going to get. I'm just stacking these things over on the side. And one more to go. Yeah, one more. One more with the infusions, and then we're going to move on to gelatos, I think, which I have never really gotten along well with. So this one is called Slate Blue and Are You Cerise. Are You Cerise is very similar to raspberry. So much so that I can really not tell the difference. And let's see if it's as powerful though. If it is, I may have just made a huge mistake. So you can see I did this one a little different. I did slate blue all over the middle. And I think I'm just going to try lots of water and squishing with tissue. This. I wonder what this is gonna do. Oh, this might be my new favorite method. Except one problem. My arm already hurts. That didn't take long. That's a little painful. Yep. Okay, well, you know, only once in a while will I have a special page with this. Because, how? Okay. It's painful to be beautiful. Wow, it's even got me a little dizzy. Hang on. Okay, so let's do Are You Cerise in the middle this time. And we'll do slate blue on each side of that. And I can't do that pouncing again because that's not safe for me, apparently. I mean, who would have guessed? Maybe what I'll do is just what it is right now. And I'll take that old piece of tissue. Whoops. And just, maybe I'll just squish it the way it is, because it's looking kind of cool. Maybe this is the only, maybe this is the extent of my pouncing. Maybe this is all I can handle. Too funny. Oh my gosh. I realize that some other folks who have similar limitations might not think it's very funny, but I'll tell you something. If you don't laugh at some of this stuff, you know, the other alternative is just not cool. I think I'm just going to leave this the way it is. I like some of these sunburst bits. I don't know what that's going to turn out being like when I actually use these pages and when they dry and all that jazz, but not too shabby, really. Now, I'm going to pause again. I'm going to get rid of the infusions and pull out the next thing. Like I said, we're going to do some gelatos, and I might get a couple of stencils, but I'm not sure. Let me have a think while I'm cleaning up. Okay, I am back with a new paper and a new medium. We're going to use some gelatos, and I did in fact get some stencils out. So I was recently gifted, I can't believe I just said that, I was gifted some stencils that are by Darcy at Darcy's Misadventures with Mixed Media and sold by PMartistStudio. So if you're interested in this stuff, I will link it. But I haven't really had a play with these yet. And I pull out, there's two other ones too. There's one other that was gifted, one other that came in a trade from Darcy, and one other that I found in some random box in my room that we're going to play with right now. And they're all going into a storage folder that I have not properly assembled yet. So I thought just pull these out of their pocket quick. That's an easy thing. So gelatos are a crayon type water reactive art medium, and I love the idea of these. I have never gotten the hang of them. But all I'm going to do for this very first one, by the way, this is called Forest Foliage by Darcy. And all I'm going to do is take my gelato and go all the way around the outside of it. And let's just have a play with the gelatos and some brand new stencils. I mean, by and large, the best way to learn what you can and want to do and the way to spark ideas is to just use them at their core. So I have a damp paper towel here, and I'm just going to pull the gelato from the stencil. Okay, I had a momentary interruption. My husband is off to bed and came to say goodnight. So anyway, I'm just going to take this damp paper towel because gelatos react with water, and I'm going to pull the color from the edge into the stencil. You can see I'm making a mess of this. It's okay. It's just a background. It'll all be fine. It's fine. I'm fine. You can see I'm getting some over here. That's not quite what I intended to do, but whatever. I will show you what I'm into. I do have an intention for the other side of the page. And we'll see how that works out. All right, this is almost done. Oh, don't get so carried away, lady. Let's see, I'm making the stencil jump all over the place. Okay, so I'm going to call it done because I just keep making a mess here. Anyway, there is the stencil I intended to do. Now here on the other side of the page, I'm going to take my spray bottle and just mist this stencil and see if we can then put it on the other side. And do some cleaning. Now, I'm probably wrecking my own work here because I've seen people do this. I know that it can turn out, but I'm using the wet paper towel to push it down, which means I'm activating all these little bits of color, which means I'm filling in the parts that are supposed to remain white this time. We'll see what it turns out to be, though. Maybe it turns out to be cool. I don't know. Like I told you, so far me and gelatos don't really get along. I wanted us to be friends, and they showed up at my house, and I was very excited for them to be at my house, and then they decided they don't like me very much. Okay, ready? So, wait a minute, I don't know if I pressed down everywhere. So basically what this should have done is the spray water that I did on there should have activated the little bits of gelato that were still left on the other side from spreading it around and what have you. And now pressing that wet part into the paper should have left a negative impression, of course, but then I screwed it up by filling in some of the spots. But yeah, that's just a big fat mess. Although, I mean, let's be a little nice, right? It's got some good stuff going on. I'm not going to call it a complete loss, but it is not what I would wish it to be. So on this side, I'm going to do sort of the same idea, but I'm going to take, here's what I'll do. I'll pull this all the way to the corner of the page. So I've got the very edge of the cutout of this stencil lined up with the very edge of the paper. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the other side, only just here and here. And then push up into the page. Whoa. More carefully, lady. Be a little more careful, lady. Okay. Just like that. That's all I want on this page. Ah! Let's see what it ended up being. Yep, that's all I want. Just a little corner design just like that. I'm going to do the same thing on the upper corner on the other side. And gosh, I want it like that. That's going to be a little trickier. Hold on, let me see if I can get the idea I want with a corner. No. 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 Okay, I'm going to turn this over and try again. Sort of. No. 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 Okay, we're going to go with sort of. So, what I just did there was try to find a section of the design that I like the way that it's pulling down into the paper, so that it really feels like hanging vines. I saw a lot of ways that I could do it from the center of the page, which, as you heard me talk about during the infusions part of this video, is something I really like to do. I just haven't done it on this particular page, so I need to wet my paper towel some more. I just haven't done it on this particular page, so I want it coming in from this corner and drapey. I don't know that I'm going to accomplish that. And if I don't, it's okay. I mean, it'll still be fine, but then I'll do some from the center that give me that concept instead. There we go. So it looks like this one got a lot more color than the other corner, than the lower corner did. My paper towel is starting to fall apart. Poor thing. It's had a rough day. There's a lot of little catchy parts and sharp edges on here. Watch me cut myself on this. That'd be about my speed. All right, ready? Let's see what we got. A little too gloppy in a couple areas, but I will clean that off after it's dried. But that is exactly what I wanted. Just the top corner and the bottom corner of this page. Beautiful. I didn't wait for it to dry. I just said I'm going to wait for it to dry and then clean it up. And then I went over to clean it up. Ay, ay, ay. I don't even follow my own rules, let alone somebody else's. You know what? I'm going to try something else. It's only paper. Geez. Since I now see a lot more green on this stencil, I'm going to respray it. And see if we can get something better on this side. And I won't use the paper towel this time. Just use my grubby paws, which aren't a lot better than the paper towel. I don't know who I'm kidding. I am a multitude of colors. I know that there are people who watch these videos and don't like it when your hands get dirty. Because I see them comment on other people's channels. I'm sorry if you're one of those people. That will never be a thing that happens on this channel. I will always be funny colors and full of glue and stuff. It's just the way it is. Just the way it is. Okay, so I did get some more texture at least going on over here. So I'm a little happy about that. That's good. Let's put that one to the side. And I will show you what else I got to play with. I got this. So that was called Forest Floor. This next one I'm pulling out is called Ovals All Over. I have ideas for this. And one of them is that I think that this feels like it's watery. Ever since I might have to buy the bigger sizes, because I really think I should have got the bigger sizes. I mean, she let me choose, right? Which was stupid amounts of kind. But I think I would like this better if it filled the whole page, and it's just not gonna. So anyway, I feel like this is watery. So I have this watery kind of color. Let's do this the same way we started with the Forest Floor. And just go in a frame around and push the color in. I like to see how things end up. Like, I'm using the exact same process, but the look of them will end up different because of the way the shapes hold the colors and the way the paper towel pushes the colors across different shapes. And I think that's the very bestest way to learn, right? Just change one variable at a time. In this case, the one variable is the stencil. The paper's the same. The process is the same. I do understand that I just told a great big lie, because the other there is another variable, the color of the gelato. But you know, thank goodness this isn't science class, because I just would have got kind of an F. In fact, maybe an F, because I really changed up the amount of water in my paper towel too. So thank goodness this is not scientific process time, because I just got that all wrong. I do have other ideas for this ovals all over, and I talked a little bit about my ideas when I first opened it. So it's not, I feel like the water idea is kind of obvious. I don't know if that's true or not, but to me the water idea just seems like, duh, of course it's water. When you look at this stencil. So just in case you're thinking, well, of course it's water. Can't you be more creative than that? Yes, I will be more creative than that in the future. All right, ready to see what happened? Let's see what happened. If I didn't make a filthy mess, I would love this. Very cool. Very cool indeed. I don't have enough blue on here to do an opposite print, so I think I will just do the same thing over again on the opposite side of the page. Oh shoot, I know what I should have done. Okay, on the other paper, on the other side of this page, we're going to do something different. Okay, let's see what we ended up with this time. In a minute, I guess. I thought I was done and then I just kept going. Okay, ready? Let's see. That's cool. Okay. Okay, so let me show you what we're going to do on the other side. So, like, you can get a negative off of this. It looks like I have quite a bit more ink on there right now, but I'm not going to do that just yet. I am going to instead put my ink on the ovals. And push the color off of the ovals onto the page. Okay, let me put the cover on. Let my gelatos dry out. Don't know that it matters. They're water reactive. Hello. Okay, that's a lot of water. Okay, ready? Oh, wait. No, we're not ready. I missed one. Okay. Now we're readier. And I think I will start right in the middle, and I'm going to go like this. Careful, careful. I'm gonna catch on stuff. I don't think that's going to be anything like what I had planned. So for a couple of reasons, I think I used more water than I should have to get the effect that I was hoping for. I also think that I am overworking the color, so it's rather ending up even everywhere instead of fading in and out like I wanted it to. We'll see in a minute, I guess. Okay. Okay, let's take a look and see what I did. That is super gloppy and super messy. I don't like it very much. I don't like you very much. I'm sorry. I apologize. I wonder if I push it back. Oh, no, I'm rolling up the paper now. There we go. No, that's not doing what I want it to. Other than wrecking the page, this is not doing anything like what I wanted it to. Watch this. I'm going to rip a hole right in the page. Yikes. Okay. There we go. All right, well, that page I am not thrilled with. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I did mention me and gelatos don't get along. I don't like the way they turn out, and they don't turn out like this for other people. I've seen people do the exact same thing, or, you know, I mean, it must not be the exact same thing because theirs doesn't turn out all gloppy. Theirs turns out beautiful. Mine turns out a gloppy mess. So I'm doing something wrong or different. That I don't understand. Maybe someday I will learn. I love this stencil though. It's making the watery kind of feel that I thought it would. I will just use it with a different medium. No more gelatos for you. I will also use it in a cleaner environment so that I don't get blobs of pink in the middle of my watery stuff. Oh, that's going to be cool. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. I really like how the subtle bubbles are back there. So let's put that aside and get out another one. I'm going to do another page of this stencil because I have a totally different concept for this same stencil. And I am going to do it very similar to the other page that I just did. Yeah, just like that, I think. And I'm going to, let's pull out the gold. I'm going to just put some gold on this one oval. And then, let's find a wet spot that's not blue. I'm going to pull this carefully because I don't want to go up to that straight line. But I'm going to pull this just a little bit all the way around the main oval to hopefully create a frame-ish thing. Okay, ready? Yep, that is what I wanted to do. It might not look like much now, but I have a very specific future for this little thing right here. And now we're going to do something similar on the other side. Let's see if we can do it with, no, wait, no, I think this is the only place I can get more than one oval in the area I want. Okay, wait. So I'm gonna, this is not what I intended at first, but I'm gonna do these two ovals, this one and this one, and I'll have them, since this one goes partly off the page anyway, I'm gonna do this one also partly off the page. You know what? I want a little more color on here. I gotta try to get a little more color right there. Okay. All right, that might work. I won't know till I actually use this in a journal, but like I said, I do have an idea for this. Now I think what I want to do is my tried and true favorite, and just put this design some down the middle. So let's put some right here, and here, and here. And we'll work out from these three. This video has gone way over an hour. I apologize, sort of. All right, this is gonna be a big mess. Way too much water. Way too much water, lady. Not good for stenciling. Oh, I just thought of something I could have been doing this whole time. So now I have this like this. And wait. Well, where is it? Ah, crud muffins. Hang on. This might not work because I might have just took too long, but I thought I had more tissue paper already ready to go. Let's see if we can soak up some of this gold. Like that. Wonder what I did with the I don't know. Wonder what I did with it. All right. There we go. Let's see what we got. Yep. That'll work. And I know I had two more stencils out. I'm not going to do them because this is an hour and 15 minutes so far. Good grief, man. So all I'm going to do is fold this. as if it were a page. So again, I can show you what I intend. This has got one little art space down here. That's all I wanted, and it is for a specific thing I'm going to put there. And then you would open the journal, and this would be a page, and then that would be a different page, and then this would have the same concept in different bits as that first page. All right, I'm going to pause quick and take a look at the stuff and see if it's drying, and if it is, we're going to take a look at what we made today, and that's it. Okay, right back. Okay, super quick. There are a few that still are not dry, so we won't flip through those, but just background pages and background pages. All right, and I kind of feel like they could just be a journal as they are. Let's look. So, actually, let's straighten out the silly camera because, you know, Suni was here. Anyway, look at. I feel like this could just be a journal. I feel like this just is a journal already. All right, anyway, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Any questions, any comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I appreciate any questions or comments you have. So yeah, see you next time. Bye.